We're spending the next 14 days in China, from Beijing and the Great Wall of China that literally made me cry. Fair warning, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cry today. To the ancient city of Xi'an and the Terracotta warriors. So join us as we scoot across China on a bullet train, try real Chinese food and experience some of the best hospitality we've seen since we started travelling 3 years ago. To make our time in China more accessible, we've combined all of our travel vlogs into one China mega vlog. So, sit back with your drink of choice as we explore one of the most surprising countries we've ever been to. Today, in this mega city of 22 million people, we are going to do as much as we can to give ourselves a really solid first impression.
That means seeing all the sights, eating all the food, it says he's just washed his hands.
This is how the pros do it.
And just wandering the streets, so by the end of this video we have an actual good idea of our first impressions of Beijing. I love it when the leaves, look at
I know, it's so cool.
Oh god.
All behind us. Good morning from Beijing.
This city and this country as a whole has got us so fired up. There's so many things to do and the architecture is beautiful. It honestly is making us feel like the first time we left home to travel.
And we only got here yesterday. I love it so much.
That is very nice. Also, it's autumn and we're very, very excited about that. It's definitely our favorite season to travel. I think we're going to come up with a plan to just chase autumn around the world because it's beautiful. Like, come on. What?
There's a dog. Go, go. Yes. What a tush.
Hello.
Oh, kisses. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You got kisses. You're so lucky. People here are so welcoming and kind. That's the second dog we've petted. That's one for each day so far.
Looks cool.
This is so cool. This is nuts. This is crazy that we're here.
So people say Greek islands in June. I'm thinking China in August. They're the two travel musts.
It is stunning. It's like chilly but not cold. All of the autumnal colours and the leaves falling.
Pretty sure I said August last time I spoke. I meant autumn.
Oh. We're starting the day off with a bang and we have come to the Forbidden City. We have entry for half an hour. Wow.
Just an hour walk into the Forbidden City, we have seen countless people set up, like recording themselves, live streaming maybe, selling something? What is that? We're so curious. We can't figure it out. It seems like a sales pitch though. They've got like a board with prices on it. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, is this the line we have to join?
What?
Do we have to join that line?
I think so.
Whoa.
Wait, we don't have the first entry ticket, do we?
Maybe. I don't super know what's going on. We've joined a line. We do have tickets for the Forbidden City. You have to get them online. I think at least you can book them a month before. Some of our friends came and they missed out because they thought we could just show up. We did get the earliest ticket, so I'm assuming that's why there's this line rather than later in the day. It looks like there might be a different section for lines. It looks stunning though. This is such a good time of day to come because everything is like has this golden glow to it. But I don't actually know what time it's going to open. I guess 8:30.
Yeah, our tickets say Forbidden City. Everything here says the Palace Museum. I'm hoping they're the same thing. We'll see.
Crazy behind it too. Oh yes.
You look cute. The light's really good.
Thanks. We've been waiting for 15 minutes. I think we have 15 more minutes. And then who knows how long till we actually get in.
Seems to be 8 gates we can walk through with like bag detectors, metal detectors, but in front of each gate there's so much queuing area.
We actually came here yesterday after we got in for a walk around and this whole area was just full. It was bonkers.
Nah, so even though it looks like we're in a crazy big crowd, we're actually like
Quite
towards
lucky.
the front. Yeah. 10 more minutes, well, 15 more minutes and we'll be in.
20,
Hopefully.
25, 30, 35. Who knows? This is crazy. I just respect a lion so much. It gives me, like, my heart is racing right now. That was way too much adrenaline for the morning.
It needs coffee.
I didn't.
So we should have known better because we've been to that many sites around the world, but you can't bring tripods in. Obviously, you can't bring them in pretty much anywhere. So I had to store it in a luggage bag check that's just out here by the big right tree. And he gave me a little sheet of paper to run back through, and we get to collect it when we're done in about 2 hours, he said, at one of the exit gates. So from what I understand from that interaction is it's all one-way traffic here, or mostly one-way traffic here, so we shouldn't be getting in everyone's way, which is really good. Also, the translate was really funny. The strip he gave me, like the little piece of paper he gave me to come back through the security line quickly, he said, "I'll give you a naughty little strip to get through." So the whole time I was giggling, dropping my stuff off, giggling at naughty little strip. Anyway, we've made it.
We are going to check if there's audio guide services because I think that would be worth it somewhere like here. And I would also suggest, I don't know what the time is now, 8:43. If you have entry for the first thing, just come here at this time because there's no lines. You'll get straight through. You want one each? Yeah. 2 please. Audio guides? $18. Thank you so much. Oh, it's warm in there. Just reaching my hands in to grab those audio guides. It was toasty. Okay. I didn't consider how much these were, but we've got an audio guide each. Look, it's like a little light up map. It takes around 80 minutes to visit along this route.
All right, let's go.
Well, I have to take it off then because I can't hear and talk. So what's really cool, we've just learnt about the gates on the audio guide, and the central passageway was reserved for the emperor only. The empress was allowed to pass through it once in her lifetime, and that was on their wedding day. And then also every year, the top 3 examiners from like the toughest studying were allowed to pass through it as like a celebration that they're the top smartest people. I'm stuck.
Getting shots like that is so high risk because there's just so many people here. All right, moving on.
Well, what fun facts did you learn?
Look, we can't do a fun fact about everywhere. What did you learn?
What's your favourite fun fact so far?
Mine's still going.
Oh. Honestly, it's so much information, it's kind of overwhelming, plus all of the people, so I feel like I'm only listening to 50% of it. What's really cool is just don't touch the audio guide. It'll tell you where to go next at the end of the one you're currently listening to, and once you get there, it detects that you're there and it will just start. So don't press any of the buttons like I did, because I think that messes with it a little bit.
Very cool.
So I just read a sign that says that the compound stretches, is it steps or a slant?
It's a slant.
Okay.
Very tiny steps.
Okay. This compound stretches over 1 million square meters, which is bonkers. It's actually the largest palace complex in the entire world, and there are over 9,000 rooms within the complex. And I feel like I knew all of that information, and yet somehow I'm still being here being like, it just goes on and on and on, and you go through another gate and there's this other huge area with all these beautiful buildings, and it keeps going, and I love it. Like, this is huge.
This is big.
I mean, it's literally a city within a city. It does not feel like you're in the heart of Beijing right now with, how many people live in Beijing? Like 2 million or something crazy?
22 million.
22 a little bit off. So we've made it really not that far. I think when that guy said 2 hours, he was being generous, like thinking we'd move a bit quicker. But we are at the Hall of Supreme Harmony, and apparently this is the most beautiful and grand building in the Forbidden City. It's like surrounded by all of these marble staircases and 3 layers up to the top. And I heard something, I was getting a bit distracted, so I heard turtles, but I'm not sure if that was the right word. But apparently there's turtles here that they would fill with smoke, like a dry ice sort of concoction, and it would just fill the whole area with smoke to make it seem like the emperor had been sent from God, because it gave it this real ethereal look. But I can't see any turtles. I just don't know what the actual word was.
I think it was those things I pointed out.
They don't look like turtles.
Don't know if they said turtles.
Oh, I see you're saying I was wrong. Like maybe turrets or I don't know. If we go up there and there's turtles, then that's what it is. Okay.
We also learned that this whole area, there's like sections that only the emperor can do. Like obviously he can only walk through the central gate that we came in initially. And there's also like a white walkway through the middle of this square that only the emperor could walk onto. And I just find that so funny. Like when he's asleep and there's guards, do you reckon they like just put a tiptoe on it and see what happens?
That would be cheeky, but we walked on it, so you can call us Emperor Jordan and Empress Emily from now on.
Also, the ground is very uneven.
Yeah, Jordan fell over.
Be careful.
Oh dear. I'm having so much fun though. I don't think I expected to enjoy it this much. I don't know why. It's stunning, and just like the fact that it is as old as it is and as historic as it is kind of mind-blowing that we're here. There's turtles. Can't really see in there. Okay, I feel like I'm learning so much from this audio guide, and I just want to tell you guys, so hopefully you find it interesting. What I find fascinating about this one, or what I can remember from the audio guide, is that the last king was 3 years old when he was being anointed. I don't know what the word is, like had the ceremony to make him king. Because he was 3 years old, he got quite scared of all of the pomp and circumstance, and apparently his dad, to calm him down, said something to the effect of, "It's okay, it will all be over soon." And people say that that was like a curse upon the house because they were the last reigning family of the Qing dynasty, I believe, and after that they were overthrown. There is also a legend that the flooring within is all gold bricks, but obviously that's not true. There is gold, I think, over them or enlaced in them, but they're not actually fully gold. What cool fact did you learn?
Did you talk about the vats yet?
Nah. You want to talk about them?
So since we got into this area, we've been seeing these big, we thought they were like bronze cauldrons?
Yeah.
Big vats pretty much, and we just learned that apparently they were gilded in gold, like actual gold, like 2 kilos of gold per vat, and it was their ancient fire extinguishing system. They were just filled with water 24/7 to put out any fires, and even in the winter they would burn charcoal underneath so the water wouldn't melt and it would be available.
They're doing reconstruction, and I really like it's like at the Blue Mosque in Istanbul.
It's like a photo, yeah.
Yeah, they've put a photo over it so you still get the effect. I think that's quite nice. Crazy being up this high now and being able to look out and see the actual city. Like, it's just such a weird juxtaposition, the super modern outside, and we're literally in one of the oldest buildings in the world right now. Is that true? Did I just make that up?
You made that up. It's old.
What else is older? Other pyramids maybe?
You kind of get off with it because you say one of. Like every building in the world is one of the oldest.
That's true.
So, some quick fire things we've learned. Forbidden City, built in the 1420s-ish, and then was home of the emperor for 500 years from then on, up until like 1940s or something. Super forbidden because people just weren't allowed to be here, and even within the city, it's super restrictive, like where we were saying the emperors can and can't go certain places. But my favorite fact is that the roofs are built in such a way that it doesn't allow birds to sit and poop on them. They have such a gradient of a slope, and where their feet would normally grip on, they've made it just too thick, so they have to kind of sit flat-footed and they slide down. So that's why there's no pigeons on any of these roofs, or any that we've seen inside the complex.
Can I tell you a fact, Elliot?
Yeah, come over here.
Okay. I also lost you. You're like crouched down behind benches.
May have done that on purpose.
Mean. So over there in the middle of the stairs, you know how there's all those beautiful marble carvings in the middle of the stairs? That is the largest one in the entire complex, and it's one bit of marble, and they had no idea for so long how they got it here. It's like the pyramids, like they don't understand how they got the materials to where it is. And apparently one theory is that they dug wells all along the route from where the stone was sourced, waited till winter and created an ice highway. So like they used the wells to flood the floor for it to become slippery. It took 28 days and like 40 horses and heaps of men to bring this thing, slide it essentially along this ice highway to get it here.
Wow.
Isn't that so cool?
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's a fun fact.
Mwah.
I'm having so much fun.
The problem with the audio guides and being long-bodied is that it doesn't fit in my pocket, so I put it in my waistband. Every so often it unplugs and goes all the way down my leg.
Anyway, top tip. So this is the main walking path, like on this bridge here. We came down these stairs because you're allowed to, and literally it's like we're alone in the Forbidden City. So top tip, don't be afraid to go slightly off of the route. Obviously if it's blocked off, I'm not encouraging that. So on the edge of the roofs, you can see these like little creatures. I don't know what they are, but apparently the amount of them on the roof signifies the higher the number, the more important the building was. So the Hall of Supreme Harmony had 11, and that's like the most there is in the whole complex. But then you go to the Hall of Medium Harmony and there's slightly less. These side buildings, there's only 4. Like it indicates to everyone looking at the building how important that building is. I love all of the symbolism. It's so fun.
Getting really hungry now. I think
I need a coffee.
we're gonna whiz through the next.
Turns out there's a restaurant inside the Forbidden City. You could literally spend all day here quite easily.
Say everything you've just said one more time, all natural. Now I'm recording.
I said, how cool is it that we're going to get a coffee in the Forbidden City?
So cool.
So cool. And you could eat or drink here like the emperors and empresses did. Empresses? Emperor.
I don't think
How do you
women
pluralize
were it. Queens?
And they were empresses. And then it was like the Emperor Dowager. We get 2 cappuccino to go. Thank you.
Oof.
Cheers. First coffee in China.
First coffee in China.
Pretty good, but very expensive.
The forbidden coffee. It's fun calling everything in here the forbidden whatever it is. The forbidden desk.
I said I needed to go to the bathroom and Jordan was like, oh, the forbidden toilet. Shall we?
Yeah, alright.
That tree's 300 years old.
Wow.
And it's 2 trees that have been trained to go together, and it signifies marriage and a happy and harmonious life. How cool is that? That's like when we'll get married, we'll be 2 really old trees. The trees almost look fake. Like it looks like it's been drawn or painted, don't you reckon? It's so smooth.
It's a common theme.
Yeah.
The trees this morning we thought looked fake because they just looked too perfect. But rest assured, the leaves started falling off, so we know they're not fake.
They just
People genuinely think that sometimes.
were all the perfect colour. The branch was like black, like really dark, so it made the really bright orangey yellow colour pop. I want to walk back through it like 20 times.
Oh, we will.
So the map is really cool. It shows you where you haven't been and like where we have been and have listened isn't lit up anymore, so you can choose your route based on where you've been. I just think that's so smart, and the fact that it like maps you and figures out where you are and starts playing the next one. We've never had one like that, but we have been here for like 2 hours.
Wow.
I think. Oh, I guess an hour and a half. Truthfully, I think you could spend a full day in Beijing just coming to the Imperial Palace, like have lunch at that restaurant so you are feeling energized, and then you would get to see every single place. I think at the start the map told me it would take 4 hours to see everywhere. We unfortunately don't have that kind of time. I just had this depiction of China being like somewhere we would travel that would be on the more difficult end of travel. Like there's places you visit like Thailand, it's such an easy country to travel as a tourist. And then there's places like India that we found quite hard to travel. And I thought China was going to fall on that end of the spectrum, like being quite difficult to travel, difficult to navigate, difficult to interact with the locals. But I don't know, it's just blown me away so far, and I'm having the best day. And it's so easy, like you do need to be prepared with all of your apps and stuff like that. But so long as you're ready to come here, it's honestly really smooth. Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Because we tried to bring a tripod in, we have to kind of loop back around to a specific exit to pick that up. But we have officially ended our tour of the Forbidden City. I'm kind of sad.
Me too. This is definitely one of those things, it's like a bucket list item for so many people. And now that it's done, it is a bit sad. I feel like it's hard to appreciate the place properly.
Yeah.
Like literal emperors that ruled over giant populations lived here and were thought of gods. And
yeah, it's just so far removed from like how we live our life that it's bizarre to think of it. It feels like a fairy tale, not actual history.
Yeah. If you could get rid of all the people and like try and imagine what it would be like, I don't know. It's a pretty cool place.
What do you think? Audio guide worth it or not worth it?
Well, to be fair, everything that was said on the audio guide you can read.
Yes. I did enjoy it and I'm glad we got it, but I do think you can do it just as easily and with the exact same information without it.
It's a preference thing. Like, I would have definitely preferred to read. I think you would have too.
Yeah.
But people would want to just listen, so, and I get that.
And top tip for buying your tickets here, you can use third-party services like Get Your Guide or Viator. We'll link them all below, like where we bought our tickets. The tickets actually aren't available until a certain amount of time before, so it might show as unavailable, but it's because they technically can't buy them yet.
Yeah, I think it's to book it like a week before.
Yeah.
But you do have to book in advance, so book it as soon as you know the dates because they totally sell out.
Which I think is why we went with Viator, because we could book with them like 3 weeks ahead, and then they came a week before and actually got the tickets.
You just get a little notification being like, you're secured.
It's actually confirmed.
Yeah, definitely, book early if you're coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
That way. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. They're so nice.
Yeah, everyone is like, super nice.
Security guards around the world are generally not nice people. Like they're there to get their job done, they're there to keep you safe.
They seem grumpy, right?
Yeah, but here, like just everyone we have interacted with has been so hospitable and welcoming and like trying so hard, and I feel so bad because we obviously can't speak Chinese, but they're trying so hard as well.
Yeah, completely agree.
It's really nice. I can't believe how many cafes are in here.
I promise we were on our way out. There's just so many things that keep coming up that are interesting, and this just keeps auto playing because we're in like a different section. Emily just heard a really good story.
So I don't know the full story because we left and this one started auto playing, but it was something, the workers were creating something and they accidentally broke it, and they didn't want to tell the emperor that they had broken it because they were afraid of punishment. So instead, in secret, they created like a little wooden version of whatever it was that broke, painted it white to match, and then no one noticed until over time. Obviously wood ages a bit differently to, I think, marble, what it was meant to be, and I don't know what happened. The suspense of that story. So if you know what I'm talking about, please let me know because I need to know.
Honestly, the weather We've got so lucky with the weather since we've been here. It's like 15 degrees and sunny.
I would like to put an asterisk in that statement because yesterday the smog or the air pollution was terrible. Like actually physically unhealthy for us.
Going to talk about that a little bit more later on because it's, I think, important but really interesting. Yeah. Why are so many of the streets in Beijing stunning and tree-lined and just beautiful?
Gorgeous.
All of them so far. Like, we've only seen a small portion of China, but amazing so far. We are both starving now, so we're off to try and find somewhere to eat some breakfast, but we do have tickets for our next thing, so we have to be kind of quick.
Brown sugar bubble tea? Milk bubble tea? Is that what it's called? Yeah? 2 please. Hard to say no to bubble tea when you walk past it. It's like the only one we've seen. We've gone from seeing them every couple of steps in Taiwan to now I think that's literally the only shop we've seen. So we had to get it.
We're going to Dendong restaurant for Peking duck. Which one? Dendong? Datong is expensive. It's far. Expensive. Apple restaurant is cheaper.
Oh, this one's better? Okay, which one?
We can show you. Yeah, we can show you.
Okay, is that okay?
Let's go.
Yeah? Okay. You coming?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Emily.
Monica.
Monica, it's nice to meet you. You're beautiful. Yeah.
5、
6、7、8、9。
I got it. Told you. Oh wow.
This is traditional.
Oh okay.
Oh, wow.
We got hijacked by locals, but in a good way.
That one's good too?
Very good, yeah. No
Okay.
kill, no kill. Beijing
Is it spicy?
No spicy.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Carrot.
That's good too?
This one, yeah.
Just try the duck, right?
Yeah.
Peking duck.
I think duck, yeah. Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you. Hi, thank you for your help. They were so nice.
So nice. Okay, so what a whirlwind. We were literally just walking on the street and people heard us speaking English and wanted to practice their English. So we kept talking. And now we're not in the restaurant we were going to. We've ordered a lot of food that I don't understand.
I had read a blog post about where to get Peking duck in Beijing, like the best places. And all of them sounded amazing and she had awesome reasons why, each of them. And we picked one that it was like, this is the locals' favorite place. So that's where we were headed. And then as we were walking down the street, this group of 3 ladies came up to us and they were like, are you from Germany? And I was like, oh no, Australia. And then we started talking and they were like, don't go there. They asked us where we were going. They were like, don't go there, go to this place instead, it's much cheaper and better.
Cheaper and better, yeah. Which, you know, there's some keywords for us.
And they were like pointing it out and I was like, oh, is it that one down there? And they were like, we'll just take you. So they brought us out, like completely out of their way. We were walking the opposite direction. They brought us back to this restaurant, sat us down, helped us order, talked us through stuff, got us extra stuff that she was like, it's really good, you have to try it. It was just so nice. But anyway, we have come here because we were on the search for Peking duck, which is an iconic dish that you have to get while you're in China.
Yeah, we could have just got the half duck, but we got a half duck, something else.
That comes with it.
Okay.
So that's the half duck. We ordered 2 things, a half a duck and this.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense then.
But she was like, well, what about vegetables? And I was like, oh, I think that's going to be enough. And she was like, but you've also got to get this chicken thing. And I was like, it looks great, but no.
People here are amazing.
I have no idea what this is, but she even stirred it for us because I was like, yeah, my chopsticks, like I'm not very good at it.
Yeah? What was that? A beef thing or something? That was beef?
I think so. That is so savoury and delicious.
Alright. Peking duck, Chinese delicacy. Everywhere you see people, like on the street, you can see the windows of people making it and cutting up the duck and ducks hanging about everywhere. Never actually had it in my life. I never had duck anything.
I feel like you might make a little taco out of it. Is that crazy? I think so. I'm trying to see what other people are doing.
No idea if that's what you're supposed to do, make a little wrap out of it, but...
Hello.
Welcome to China.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm all the public security in the University of China.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
From the university.
Can we take a photo with you?
Yeah, of course.
Certainly.
My friend.
Yeah.
We've met some new friends. Hello.
Ready?
Hello.
Gonna say cheese.
Okay, okay.
Oh, it's good. Are we doing this right?
The sugar are being done.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Just a bit.
Just a little bit.
as in the sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar. Okay. Good to know. I thought that was salt. Perfect.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. 谢谢. Yeah. It says he's just washed his hands.
This is how the pros do it.
对
Some skin, some meat. Yep.
，sugar.
Ah, you did. Smart.
It's the essence.
Sugar.
Oh, it's like artistic.
Small.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to fill it out. It tastes so good.
I'm excited.
Some cucumber. You got to remember how to do this.
It's just like delicate and all of it.
Perfect. Finished. Thank you so much. Put it up.
You can have a try.
Try the proper way.
With the sugar.
Oh, the sugar's so much better.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much. It's so good.
This is the perfect Beijing duck.
It's a perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming over.
Have a nice day. It was so good to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, we will. Thank you. Now we know how to do it. Thank you. Holy moly. Let's turn that around.
I freaking love China.
Guys, come to China.
That was so nice.
I feel so
This is so
warm.
much better.
Like, I don't know why. I feel so.
Try his one. It's so much better than the one I made. You can't have the rest of it.
You don't get those experiences. Like, speaking from us traveling in the last 3 years, you don't get that in 99% of places you go. And like, I'm sure you can seek it out in a lot of places. Like, you can go and be like, I want to have a really local experience. But here, the experience finds you, which is just, for introverts like us, amazing.
God, this is the best. I'm so glad we followed those lanes and we came here and we met those people.
This is the best day. 9 minutes this clip is. What an experience. Holy moly. Yes, let's get the name of this place because they just walked us straight in. Right near the palace too.
One thing we weren't expecting but have loved about Beijing so far is the amount of electric vehicles. So behind me now is 1, 2, 3, 8 plus lanes of traffic, and listen. That's all you can hear. Isn't that crazy? There is the odd petrol or diesel car. Diesel? Yeah, I guess it could be. Car. And they seem so loud in comparison to all of the electric vehicles.
Apparently China is responsible for 64% of all electric vehicles made. And they subsidize the buying of them so much that a brand new electric vehicle that's like top of the line is cheaper than some of the older petrol cars, and that's why everyone has them. Such a good idea. Come on,
I didn't realize that was why. It's so good. It's so nice. Like, there is no road traffic noise, and we're on a busy street like our hotel, but all you can hear is people talking at the restaurant below us, not the cars. I just feel like anywhere else in the world, stuff like that would be a sight to see. But here, there's so much history and things to look at. The awesome architecture like that is just on the side of the road. No one really cares about it.
It's literally, this is an unmarked walkway in like on main roads, and it's stunning.
It's
like,
so beautiful.
I don't use that word lightly. It is gorgeous.
It is just tree lined, and because everything's the autumnal colours, it's those trees that we were telling you earlier look fake.
Yeah.
It's just lined with them, and they're falling every now and then. It's just so magical. We're walking this way because the lines to get into Tiananmen Square were ginormous.
Yeah, and also you can't even navigate around them. You are funneled into a line to get into Tiananmen Square, and it's like, I didn't see it move at all, so my estimation would be at least an hour.
A long time. The good thing is the tickets to Tiananmen Square are free. Like, you do need to get tickets or register your intent to visit. but it is free. So instead we're walking up these squares to try and get to some gate. So,
what a series of events. We kept running into lines that would be the checks to get into Tiananmen Square, which we had tickets for.
Yeah.
We don't want to wait for what looks like at least an hour.
yeah.
So in our adventure, we came to the very south of Tiananmen Square and we inadvertently joined another line, which was tiny. Turns out it was the Tiananmen Square line as well.
Yeah, they checked our tickets, checked our passports, everything. So we are in Tiananmen Square now. It seems like it's just a restricted section of the city. Like, it is huge in here.
Yeah, so that is the best tip, is go to the southernmost entry point.
Yeah. I don't actually know what the location is, but I've screenshotted it on my map, so we'll overlay it now. But if you come to this one, just speaking from our experience on a weekend, that line is 1/10 of the size of the other lines that we've seen.
Yeah, maybe less.
Let's go explore. Gosh, this is pretty crazy. Actually ginormous. How big is this, do you know?
No.
We're in. That gate is definitely the way to go. I assume, still get busier. Like, I think we got quite lucky when we entered, but I would still say it will be shorter than the other ones.
Yeah.
The issue is it's further away. The one that's super busy is super busy because you go from the Imperial City to there. So that kind of makes sense too.
So it is Tiananmen Square because behind me and behind that monument is, you can kind of see it, Tiananmen Gate, which is one of the gates into the Forbidden City. I didn't know that before coming here. I just thought it was what they named the square, but it is specifically named for that gate. It's famous because it's got a giant portrait of Mao Zedong. Out the front, there's a parade of policemen going past. I feel like that image, we'll go over there in a second, is the most iconic China image apart from like Great Wall and things like that.
Yeah.
Just his big portrait.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant the gate.
Or his portrait on the gate.
Oh wow. Yeah, cool.
We are just walking around Tiananmen Square. We've come to a part where there's literally no one around. Oh, there's a couple of people there. Almost nobody around, and we've come to this. Tell them when it was built.
I think it's the further away one, but it was built in 1410.
Archery tower from 1410.
Is that what I said?
Isn't that cool?
1419.
1419, that's 9 years younger.
It was originally built then. Like a lot of the stuff here, it has been rebuilt throughout the years after being like demolished or broken or whatever.
Can't blame them for that.
No.
But super cool. Like, not really mentioned on many guides that I know of.
I'm sure it is. We didn't do that much research. But I do feel like Tiananmen Square gets, and the Forbidden City, they're the top things.
You think about...
This is right here.
Yeah, a list of things that's going to be, you must sees, like Tiananmen Square will be on it, probably not this, but so cool, just like the history here.
Yeah. Oh, my hair's crazy. So when we first got into Beijing, we were walking around our local area and we saw a lot of people dressed up in like the traditional dress. We were like, oh, is that like tourists or people visiting, dressing up, or is that just locals, like how some people dress? Maybe they work in tourism, so they dress like that for the job. Turns out you can actually hire the traditional dress at so many places around the Imperial City, and everyone does it and then comes and does an epic photo shoot around the Forbidden City. It's just so cute. They all look so beautiful. I love how intricate and detailed the dresses are as well. Good?
Perfect, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shusha.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. That was so pretty and nice. I have like goosebumps. I feel like I met royalty. And I kind of do feel awkward asking for photos with people like that. But we've actually been asked a few times today for people to take our photo with, like for people to take their photo with us. And I don't mind when I get asked. I think it's quite cute. So I thought it was time to do it myself. Plus they just look so beautiful. They must get their makeup and hair done as well, because they all have like this stunning makeup on. I don't know.
Can't imagine it's cheap to do either.
Yeah, I have no idea.
There is a part of me that makes me wonder. There is a part of me that wonders even if they do it the same in summer, because it gets really hot here and I can imagine the layers would be intense.
I would assume that there's separate dresses for summer and winter. Like at a certain time of year they start transferring it over so you're warm while you're out.
That makes sense.
Alright, let's keep going.
Alright, here you go. The final entry into the Forbidden City is 3:30 and this happened yesterday. We saw a bunch of people just start sprinting next to us.
It's like the final rush. They know they have to get there and they're so close and they're running.
And it started happening again.
Now it's time for a drink by the river. Wow.
So, there is no Uber and there is no Grab in China, but there is Didi, which honestly is one of our favorite rideshare apps out of all of them. It's in Australia as well. That Didi ride took a lot longer than I thought it would. It is now completely dark and we came somewhere that I thought would have significantly less people than what there are here. The goal is to get a nice quiet drink, but somehow I don't think that's happening.
It is a Saturday night. Like, I don't know how you thought this would be quiet. There's so many people.
Very cute.
Okay.
Lager.
Ah, okay.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What do you like?
2 lager?
Lager?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we get 2 lagers? Thank you.
So we've come down to this, I don't even know what this area is called, but it's along the river. And it, I think there's 2 names for it. We got kind of confused. There is a river on either side. It is just lined. Where's that sound? It is just lined with bars and restaurants, but every single bar has live music. I don't know whether that's just because it's the weekend or if that's every single night, but this is the place to be on a weekend. There's also heaps of places you could get food here, like little finger food, night marketing style places. We have come to somewhere that there isn't live music because it's a bit quieter for our 30-year-old brains to handle.
31.
Stop reminding me of that. Thank you.
Ooh, that's nice. Also, just have to say, first impressions of Beijing, first impressions of all of China, really good. I had no idea that within 24 hours, China would become one of my favorite countries to travel to. Like ever. Cheers.
We have a lot of crazy exciting things to do here in China, but I just don't know how. Like when we started the day at the Forbidden City, I thought it is not going to get better than this. And then it just got better and better and better and better. I just love it here. Cheers to Beijing.
Cheers to China. I honestly think that lunch/dinner experience is like a top 5 travel experience of all time. People were just the best.
I agree. It was one of the best, like top interaction experiences we've ever had.
Honestly think we're just going to have these beers and head back to our hotel room and get ready for tomorrow because it's going to be a huge day.
You know what you forgot to tell them about?
What?
The air quality thing.
Yeah, I think I'll save that for the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, 你好。你好，你好。
Thank you. See you at Subway, yeah?
Subway.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
So excited. excited.
Even treated ourselves to a coffee because we got here a little bit too early. So the wall wasn't open yet, but we are the second group through.
The excitement is unreal.
Oh, let's come here.
Sure? Okay.
Closer.
Ready? Yay! This is so cool.
We spent yesterday wandering around Beijing and honestly being shocked by our first impressions of China. It is so much better than I thought it was going to be.
That's a bit mean.
It's honestly one of the best places we've traveled, and we've only been here for like 2 days.
This area of the Great Wall is called the Mutianyu area. From what we read online, it's meant to be slightly less touristy, decently restored, less people, so like more fun. Plus, we get a cable car on the way up.
The other reason we've come here is there's a pretty fun way to get back down the mountain. You got it? Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Share. Why was that so fun? It's currently 8:30 in the morning and we're one of 4 groups up on the Great Wall of China.
This is definitely the busiest part, but the mission is to get far away from everyone.
Yeah. Which way do you want to go? Like, I don't know if you can go that way.
Let's find out.
Okay. Fair warning, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cry today because I'm like tearing up already. And we've been here for 5 minutes, not even. I just can't believe we're here. It's just one of those things that like you learn about so much when you're a kid, like it's entrenched in things I know is learning about the Great Wall of China. And I'm just so grateful that making these videos means we've gotten to come here. Oh, my voice is all warbly.
You are crying.
Thank you guys for watching and supporting. And for those of you that like, oh, a cat, can we be best friends, please? Anyway, for those of you that like or comment and share and engage with the videos and watch every single one of them, it really does mean the world to us.
We also did a lot of heavy, intense research last night, so we're prepped to come here.
We watched Mulan. So, for those of you who are unaware, like I was not that long ago, the Great Wall is actually made up of sections of wall, and along those sections of wall is fortifications or like
Watchtowers.
Watchtowers, that's the word I'm looking for, thanks Puddin. And all along the watchtowers and the wall is holes, the smaller of which were used for archers to shoot their bow and arrow through, and the larger ones were for them to throw rocks and different massive debris through to deter people from coming up. This is crazy. At some point in history, someone was probably standing here shooting their bow and arrow through these holes, defending the Great Wall of China.
Whoa! Holy mama jama. This is unbelievable. Can't believe we're here.
I know.
Over the years, we've had the privilege of seeing a lot of world wonders. This one has to be the most impressive. But
I think so.
Yeah.
It's up there. We've seen the Colosseum in Rome, Machu Picchu in Peru, Taj Mahal, and the pyramids of Egypt. So this makes 5. We're officially over halfway to completing the list. That's nuts.
I think it'll be good to see how this compares to like how busy the Taj Mahal is and how the epic views of Machu Picchu, but honestly, already the views, like
unbeatable.
Your eyes are looking at a mountain, and every so often you kind of see a pattern that looks man-made, and then you look a bit closer and it's like a watchtower. It's just so far in the distance that you can't immediately recognize it, but once you look and then you follow the wall, like imagine this in winter without covered in snow.
Apparently it makes it like more visible in a way because you can the snow settles, you can really see the man-made structure.
This bit might as well be a ladder.
What kind of a sick joke is this?
That's mad.
Literally like horizontal? Vertical. Horizontal would be nice.
As well as watching Mulan, we did actually listen to a couple of podcasts on the car ride over here and absorbed some knowledge into our brains. People call that learning as well. Apparently, what most people think of as the Great Wall is one long fortification. But in actuality, the Great Wall is made up of over 10,000 separate little bits of wall and kind of looks like a bowl of spaghetti dropped on the floor if you look at it from a map view.
So the length of the Great Wall is
Just over 21,000 kilometres.
which is a flight from London to New York and back twice.
Half the circumference of the world is how long it is.
Crazy. Basically what we learned is that throughout history a bunch of the different dynasties would and wouldn't care about the wall, and the Ming dynasty was the one that was like brought it back into fashion and really cared about the wall and restoring it and making it bigger.
Basically all the parts of the wall that are well preserved and look like this are from the Ming dynasty.
Yeah. My other fun fact is that the length of the wall, it isn't actually all wall. Some of it is trenches, some of it's natural things like rivers or hills that they took advantage of, but it all was part of the Great Wall because it was used to like keep people out in one way or another.
And it was originally a bunch of smaller walls built by individual villages and individual like townships, and then one emperor unified China, and when he unified China he put all the walls together.
There's one section of the wall that isn't even used as defense wall. It was used to collect taxes on commerce, and apparently silkworms and the recipe for making silk was like a heavily guarded secret, but eventually that got out and they built a portion of the wall because they knew they would make a bunch of money selling the silk to Europeans, and they wanted to make sure they were taxing it, whatever went out and whatever came in.
Let's go.
Crazy. Which way?
Up. Continue the same way. More facts. Built, as we learnt, through multiple different empires. Apparently, the workforce that actually did the construction was made up of 300,000 to crazy estimates of 1 million prisoners, volunteers, conscripts.
Seems like it was a punishment. Like if you were in trouble, you would get 4 years at the wall, not 4 years in jail. There's also this really cool urban legend about a woman whose husband, they just got married, he got sent to the wall and they were promised they'd be back by winter, so he didn't take his winter coat. Winter came and she got really worried about him, so she grabbed his winter coat, walked to the wall and was looking for him, and he'd passed away. She was like demanding to see his body, and they were like, it's buried in the wall, we can't show you. She wailed so loudly that the wall crumbled and she found his bones, and apparently that released all of the ghosts of the other men who had perished working, and they all asked her to go tell their loved ones where they were.
And that's why everyone thinks there's bodies buried in the wall.
Yeah.
But apparently 0 have been found.
There has been bodies found, but not in the wall, so like next to the wall or at graveyards nearby.
Also, if you are planning on coming here, I think any section of the wall, common knowledge, but be ready to hike. Like some of these stairs are straight up and they go forever. But if you do come like we did through the Get Your Guide and getting here first thing in the morning, you do get by yourself. Look at that. No one down there, no one ahead, it's just us. I think we've made it to the end of this section of wall at the very least. What's really cool is that each of the watchtowers has like a shield out the front of it, and it's got a description of what the watchtower was.
From here there is more Great Wall, but it hasn't been restored, or it's not safe for tourists to visit on. So we have made it to the end of the Great Wall in this direction.
We also learned that the average width of the wall is 21 feet and the average height is 23 feet. So that's just mind-boggling.
And it was used as basically a road for the military, like to get them from A to B.
You can also see, like, everywhere you look, you see remnants of the wall. You can see really dilapidated ones. They look quite built up, obviously a little bit reclaimed by nature, but still completely inaccessible. It would be crazy urban exploring to kind of break the rules and run around here.
We are not doing that.
Like this video if you want to see me urban explore.
No.
Hey.
Look where we are. The greatest of the walls. Love you. We got to keep walking anyway. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Calling the family from the Great Wall. I feel like that was a bucket list item I didn't know I had. Yeah. What's crazy is I'm lucky enough to have data at the moment, but if I didn't, we could have still called my family, because at the Great Wall of China that's been here for thousands of years, there's Wi-Fi. We're making our way back to the chairlift where we arrived on the Great Wall, and there is this really chunky monkey cat that must live on the Great Wall of China, which is just crazy. It's trying to make friends with him, but is a little bit scared. But he's so cute and pudgy, so he must be well looked after.
It is interesting that a cat that seems to live specifically on the Great Wall of China is quite overweight. He's climbing walls every day. There's nothing that I can see that's feeding him. Cute cat though. It's only like just gone 10 AM and there's a lot more people on the wall. Still nothing like the region I've seen battling, which is connected by a metro train, but a lot busier than it was at 8:30 this morning. Also, apparently in summertime it opens at 8 a.m, in winter 8:30. So try and get here then. So these watchtowers that we're in now, we used to warn pretty much the whole wall and the whole of China when the Mongols or where the Huns were invading. They would just set one on fire, pretty much.
Wasn't there like cauldrons or something?
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't set the actual watchtower.
But the fire has to be big enough for all the other watchtowers to see it, to light theirs, and then the message just travelled around the wall like the beacons in Lord of the Rings.
They also use smoke signals to deliver messages between the two towers, I believe. There are plenty of ways to come and see the Great Wall and different sections you can go to. The battling section is the most popular because I think you can get public transport a lot of the way, if not all of the way. We booked our ticket with Get Your Guide. This isn't sponsored, I know it sounds like it does. I know it sounds like it is. Get Your Guide if you're watching, I would love that.
We're open to it.
But I will leave in the description the one that we booked onto. We opted for a private tour, which yes, is more expensive, but it meant that we got here first thing in the morning when it opened, which means we had it to ourselves. Now it's a bit later in the day, so it's a lot busier because all of the massive tour buses have started arriving, and it's just a completely different experience. Like there's people yelling, screaming, obviously having fun, just talking really, really loud. Another option to see the Great Wall is you can actually camp on sections of it, which we were so close to booking, but then we noticed that while we're here it gets down to -3 and we thought, not ready for that.
It's funny that this wall was built originally to keep people out quite aggressively, and now it's what brings people to China from the entire world. This attraction is so iconic, it brings millions of people here every year.
You are toasty warm from the sun? Yes, you are. Yeah. One last Great Wall fun fact. There is a very popular myth/urban legend that it can be seen from space. Unfortunately, that is not true.
Apparently it can be seen in perfect weather from low Earth orbit, and you have to really squint and know where you're looking.
But apparently that legend came to be because this archaeologist that had to do with Stonehenge theorized that you could, and people just took that and ran with it. And until man went into space or to moon, they still believed it. And even after then, I feel like it's still so. I believed it until recently.
So now it's time for something I think I was equally as excited for as the Great Wall.
And something I had no idea existed on the Great Wall of China.
Getting down.
Toboggan? Tobog.
Forward to go faster, pull back brake.
Okay. You can only go as fast as the people in front of you, and I think they've got some people in front of them. I feel like I'm right on the edge.
Just let her go for a bit, then you can go faster.
She came to a full stop, so I'm stopping for a bit.
I was recording that whole time. Yeah.
All right. Let's go! Full throttle, baby! That's better! That's better! This is the Great Wall of China!
Hey, slow down again. Nice and slow. Nice and slow, nice and slow. And woo!
Oh! Yeah! Oh, God! It's so good when there's no one in front of you! Shit.
Thank you! Oh, that was so much fun. That has to be the best way to get down from the Great Wall of China.
You do have to pay extra for the ticket up and the toboggan down, but just
Worth
as
it.
a ride, it's worth it. I think the biggest tip is to pull back on the brakes pretty early, give yourself some space,
Yeah.
and then go for it.
Have a buffer because people in front of you might not be as adrenaline seeking as you are.
We thought we had fast people in front of us. We did not. Or they had technical difficulties. I still don't know. That is one day at the Great Wall of China.
I can't wait to explore Beijing again tomorrow.
Yeah, true. We've got Beijing Day 2 coming up.
The line now is bonkers.
Yeah, it's busy now. The link to the guide that got us here before anyone else is in the description, and I highly recommend you use it.
The difference a few hours make. We were walking up this road by ourselves.
Favorite thing about the Great Wall? Toboggan. Second favorite thing? Kitty cats.
Mom, look, another ginger cat. Another little bestie. To start the day, we have come to the Summer Palace, which is absolutely huge and insanely beautiful. It is just past 7:30, I think now, and this technically opens at 6:30, but we are one of like a handful of people that are here. There seems to be quite a few locals coming in and doing like their morning rounds, like some exercise through here, but it is just spectacular. A third of this whole area is actually water. So there's this awesome lake in the middle that just goes everywhere. Sorry if I sound a little blocked up. I am getting sick. This is crazy. There's no one here.
Yeah, there's stuff everywhere too. Like
Yeah.
the light hitting those golden pagoda things.
Awesome.
So these gardens were originally built as palace royal gardens in 1750. They were destroyed and rebuilt and reclaimed through opium wars and things like that. But even though they're called summer gardens, I recommend being here in autumn because it is stunning. So many birds, so much like different greenery and the changing of the leaves, and everywhere you look, there is something beautiful.
It is, however, freezing cold. It is so cold this morning that there is like frost on some of the greenery and on some of the walkways. My fingers are frozen, but it is bloody beautiful here. A pretty epic place to start the day. I just wish they sold coffee somewhere. Guess how many degrees it is?
I don't know.
Guess.
2.
How did you get that right? Yeah.
Yeah, wow, and the sun's been up for a while. We weren't ready for this. So this central island you can access through an awesome bridge that has got to be one of the most beautiful ones in China. I think it's gorgeous.
Called the 17 Arch Bridge, and I'd be fascinated to know if there was any like symbolism to do with the number
There's
17.
gotta be. There's so much symbolism with numbers, like all throughout China. But you come to this middle island and there's a walking track around the outside with speakers that are playing like traditional ancient Chinese music. So it's really sets the mood for you.
It really is quite immersive.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones here. Oh, there's one group showing up now.
But let's go to the actual pagoda thing.
Yeah. They're so cute. Look at those funky looking ones.
Yeah, wow. They look like a painting, like an artist.
Yeah.
This park has dozens of like ancient gates and they're really cool. I don't know why. I think it might be the way the light's hitting them all, but honestly we're stopping and looking at all of them for quite a time.
We came through the new gate where we went onto the island because it's obviously surrounded by the water. The light reflecting off of it was just stunning, and I'm pretty sure there's a place here called the Temple of Moonlight Ripples or something like that.
How fitting.
I know. All of the places, like their names are just so sweet. I love it.
This gate is super heavy duty, like a fortification.
Yeah.
They also name things quite dramatically.
I still think my favorite is that it was the Temple of Medium something.
In the Forbidden City. Like,
Yeah. Whoa. This is pretty. Seems like a photo spot. Everyone's stopping.
Yeah. Should we try to get a photo?
Yeah.
See those annoying people?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
Oh. What is going on? Right. Alright. Expect the unexpected.
so nice. We just, how long were we standing? Oh, more? Okay. Bye-bye. I just love it. People are so sweet. We've just been stopped, I would say, for 10 minutes taking photos with a couple of different groups of people. They're all so sweet about it though.
Yeah.
And obviously it's difficult to communicate, and translate's always slightly off with Chinese and stuff. So someone was asking me something and I thought she was asking my name, but then I translated it and said, people go home. So I just translated back that we're from Australia, and hopefully that answered her question, whatever it was.
We were literally just walking across a bridge to go to this pagoda, and a massive group stopped both of us to take photos with all of them individually and group photos. I tried to snap a few on the camera while we were taking photos with them, so if we got any good ones, this is what it was like.
They were
hectic.
so cute. It always makes me laugh. Let me talk. Like, I just think of, are they gonna go home and show that photo of us to their friends and family? Are we gonna be printed out and put in a frame of their memory of their trip to Beijing?
It's also, what are they saying about it? Like, we met, who are we? Like, we met these people that weren't from China.
Yeah, it was so cute though. I always wonder, like, how many people's photos are you just accidentally in the background of? But then that happens quite a bit. Like, we are open to saying yes if people want a photo with us. So I always wonder, are they like posting that on Facebook? What's happening?
That looks like coffee. Ah,
Coffee, yeah. Oh, latte.
One
In
latte.
America. Vanilla latte.
Yeah.
Two latte.
Two latte, please. Says payment processing.
Oh, okay. We found coffee, which I am so grateful for. It is so toasty warm. I would definitely recommend trying to get here first thing in the morning. It opens at 6:30. That's the first ticket entry you can get. At 8:30, it becomes packed. So let's try and keep going. Wow.
Just walking around to the main pagoda, and there's people writing on the main pathway in water, like with water sticks.
If anyone could let us know what these say, I would be very appreciative, because Google Translate isn't working. It says, merrily welcome the snow, New Year like more day play bong.
I feel like you get the essence.
Do you? These windows are cool that they're painted on. Whoa. It's like a maze through here. I honestly don't know much about this whole area, but there are plenty of tour groups, and unfortunately a lot of them are using speakers. You can probably hear that. So it really ruins the energy and the vibe.
Yeah, I am actually shocked by how many people there are here now, almost instantaneously. Like, we were here this morning, the sun was coming up, the lighting was beautiful, and it was us and like two other people, maybe quite far away. And now, like, packed.
I'm pretty sure this is the super famous long corridor. It stretches for 700 meters, and all of the paintings just depict like history or legends. It's very intricate and so nice. There are so many people though. It's crazy. You got something to say?
No.
Sir. Sorry if I got aggressive.
ladies here. It's just such a vibe. So full of beans.
All the ladies.
All the old ladies, yeah.
I think they love you as well because you're so tall.
I'm like an anomaly. So the main pagoda here is the Temple of Buddhist Incense. Apparently it's a separate ticket, so you have to come and pay 10 won to get in that one as well. But I feel like the main draw card is seeing it from the outside, so I think we're going to skip that and instead jump on the metro to our next stop.
I will explain later how to get these tickets for cheaper than you're probably seeing online as well, because there is an easy way to get tickets that's a little bit more expensive, or a confusing way to get tickets that's a bit cheaper.
Budget core. We've heard the metro system is very easy in China, or in Beijing specifically, so I really hope that is true.
One for both of us, so 5 each, and we're going to be on the metro for quite a while, which is crazy because that is 1/10 of the price of the DD here.
Crazy. Can confirm, very easy. Getting from place to place seems like it's efficient, quick, and cheap. Gotta get the what?
Oh, that one there. Go, go, go. No! We've got to get that train. We've got to ride 16 stops and get off at Kaishkou. And we transfer to the 7.
Oh, we have to transfer as well.
So one of the apps that I recommend you download if you're visiting China is Metro Man, especially if you have an Android phone. I have an Apple phone and it seems to be working pretty well. I did read blog posts that said not to trust Apple Maps, but it's worked everywhere we've wanted to go. And that's what I'm currently using, but the Metro Man app essentially, whoa, so squeaky. But the Metro Man app will essentially help you navigate the public transport system, and it's super simple to use. You just need to know what stations you're hopping on and off at, which I found difficult to know without my Apple Maps.
Yeah. Google Maps will not work.
No. So Jordan's phone's basically useless. I love when they say like doors will open on the left, doors will open on the right. I think that's so handy.
That's right.
It's probably the one that's leaving right now.
Probably. Has that timing.
Really good.
Final verdict on the metro in Beijing. Amazing. Incredibly well signed. Like it tells you, oh, my bag fully opened. My bag is not in the best of sorts, but what I was saying is that it's incredibly well signed. All the metros tell you which exit to go out to get closer to where you need to be. And I just think that's such an easy thing. Makes such a difference.
Yeah, it is a really easy to use system, which is surprising to me.
And super cheap.
Like I think we were on that for what, 40 minutes, and it was 5 won each. That's crazy. The DD this morning was like 56.
For those that don't know, DD is like the Uber of China.
Yeah.
And it is available in Australia too. And they usually have really good specials in Australia. Honestly, it's one of our favorite rideshare apps.
Ooh. It is a different app though in China. It's literally called DD for China. But if you get the Alipay app, within Alipay is DD. So you don't need both. You can just have Alipay and order DD through there. My aim is to write a blog post of all of the apps that you need to download for when you're visiting China. So if I've done that by the time the video's out, it'll be in the description below.
More work.
You reckon it's that one?
Yeah.
My favourite is when Google Translate gets it slightly wrong. It's translated this place to Little Fat Bun. And we can get a Little Fatty King. Perfect. 谢谢。
吹了那什么，吹了猪一两，
咦？
这3个加肉的 OK，
谢谢。
在那吃，
Yeah.
再走，
Yeah.
好 OK，
谢谢。
OK。
All right. Love this. Love this.
But there's always chili.
Every restaurant that we've been to so far in Beijing has had chili oil on the table.
Yeah, like
And
their
it's like
own
the
house
perfect
one.
temperature. Yeah. It was real fast.
Real fast. God, they look good. Fatty little kings. So our next major stop for the day is the Temple of Heaven, but our tickets aren't there until about an hour's time. So I was looking on Apple Maps what was nearby to eat, and this place came up. It was called Steam Bun King, and that sounded delicious. So we've come here, and we've ordered 3 of the braised pork and 3 of, I actually don't know which one's which, 3 of the beef one. Fatty little kings, is that what they were called on
Yeah, I
Google
think so.
Translate? And I'm so glad we came here. It seems super local. There's not really anyone here yet. I think it's still quite early. We went up and ordered. I had to take a photo to translate what the menu said, and then just had to point, and he was matching up like, oh, she's pointing to the first one, got it, and did it that way. I also just love that when you can't speak the same language, you do just still talk to each other, as if he could, like he was just saying something to me as if I could understand, and you just have to figure it out contextually, but it works. Whoa, it's almost like a cross between a bao bun and a dumpling.
Nice.
It's really good. I can't believe this whole dish, so 2 servings, was $3.
$3 Australian dollars.
$3 Australian dollars, that's crazy.
It's $2 American.
And tonight, I think we're going to end the night by going to one of our favourite restaurants here in Beijing. I'm going, guys.
Okay, those were delicious. I really liked them. Yeah, both actually. I couldn't really pick a favourite. Me.
I couldn't either, but I also am very excited about tonight's dinner, so I was thinking about that a lot.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Literally across the road from where we got those buns is our next stop, Temple of Heaven.
Yay! I think this is the one, apart from the Great Wall of China, this is the one I was looking forward to the most.
Yeah. Arguably we should have got here first,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
But this one doesn't open until, like the other one opens earlier,
Yeah.
whereas this one's first entry is 8:30, I think.
Right. See how busy it is.
Whoa! It is like 2-point-something square kilometres, this complex. It's actually bigger than the Forbidden City. We got a through ticket, which is like a combined ticket to everything, and I booked it through the confusing way that's cheaper. Both of our tickets ended up being less than 1 person through Get Your Guide,
Crazy.
which is nuts.
Hopefully it works.
Just a little bit of effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
全站原票，1人；全站原票1人。
Whoa! Wow! God, this is crazy! We've made it to the Temple of Heaven!
Speaking about the Forbidden City, the same person who started the construction of the Forbidden City also started the construction here. And he was part of the Ming Dynasty, which was the dynasty of the Great Wall that we were on.
It's just
The
all
dynasty-
intersecting.
The dynasty that built the part of the Great Wall that we were on yesterday. Okay. Whew.
Confusing. Oh, this is so cool. It is huge. Let's go over there.
It's busy, but it's not crazy.
Yeah. Like there is heaps. There is so many people, but it actually doesn't feel that intense. Whereas I feel like sections of the Forbidden City did feel quite intense because you were having to pass through quite small passages. This is like really open, so everyone's quite spread out. I think the craziest fact that I learned about the Temple of Heaven is that this like architecture marvel has not a single nail in there. Like the wooden bits are just locked into place, not actually nailed together.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
Apparently, Temple of Heaven was originally built as a sacrificial temple to get good harvests.
Yeah, so the emperors would come here, make sacrifices and pray for good harvest that year.
Don't know what they were sacrificing.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was animals or
Humans.
yeah.
Or food or water. Who knows?
Could have been something not horrible. But also I read online that the number 9 is repeated a lot here because it is the most yang of the numbers, and it's associated with heaven, imperial power and ultimate authority. So the use of it and its multiples throughout the complex reflected the emperor's status as a connection to God or to the heavens.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where's that echo wall?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Apparently another, as if this wasn't impressive enough that this is built with no nails, there is a wall somewhere around here that has that phenomenon where you can be whispering in one section and be heard somewhere else. And again, that ability lent itself to the god being, to the emperor being godly.
This also continues a lot further than I thought, like all beyond that gate there. So there's a lot of exploring to do, but I think we're going to find a toilet and find an ice cream.
Yeah, I've seen online that there's people that have ice creams in this shape, and I really want one. Hopefully they're not crazy expensive. That's crazy. So the circular mound, the main temple at the temple, or the main focal point at the Temple of Heaven, has the number 9 everywhere, each 3 layers of marble. There are 9 steps because that is the most yang number. Hi.
Happened again. Come on.
With you?
Yeah.
That's okay, sure.
No worries. Come on in.
Oh!
No worries, thank you. It's nice to meet you. Bye.
It's very wholesome.
It's just the sweetest. How do you say no to something like that?
You don't. They're lovely.
You don't, that's right.
All right, let's keep going through.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Ni hao. What flavour do you want? We'll just share one.
Chocky.
Chocolate. What about strawberry?
Get one each.
You want one each?
Yeah.
We get 1 chocolate and 1 strawberry. What am I doing wrong here?
We found the ice creams.
Whoa. So flip it over.
Oh, baby. Just want to eat so bad.
No, we're going to take more photos. Cheers. Cheers. Cute. How is it?
It's good. Tastes like a paddle pop.
Ooh, strawberries yummy. They're so cute. What a fun idea.
It's cold on your teeth.
I just want to get so many pickies of it.
So these were $5 Australian each. So really, really not cheap, but you pay for the novelty of it. We would have got 1, but Emily didn't want chocolate, and I was stubborn. So we're both stubborn, so we got 2.
It's such a fun idea. We've seen this sort of thing in other places, like, where were we this morning? The Summer Palace, in the cafe we went into, they had like lollipops in the shape of the Temple of Incense Buddha, what was it called? Whatever that one was called, they had the shape, but it was a lollipop, not an ice cream. That'd last longer at least.
I feel like you could do something with the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, and all it is a mold.
Yeah.
Crazy. If you want the ice cream, come out and it's in there.
I'm a big fan of these giant doors everywhere that's historical. I don't know why, they're just so imposing and tough looking.
I know that like a lot of it's restored, but I feel like they've done a really good job where it doesn't seem like it. We were listening to a podcast yesterday when we were going to the Great Wall. Apparently, because the Great Wall kind of went in and out of fashion of it being like a cool thing to look after, there's sections of the wall that got torn down and used for like materials, but there's this section that got restored, and I put it in inverted commas because it got restored with bath tiles. Like not at all close to what it was originally.
Just whatever was laying around, patch the wall.
Yeah, whatever they had. I just think that's so crazy. Oh, this is one of Beijing's 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and that is the most of any city in the entire world. 7 in one city. I feel like that just speaks to how historic and cultural this place is.
Yeah.
The Echo Wall.
We think we're at the Echo Wall because it's like a full loop around here. But hard to test when there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Exploring the Temple of Heaven felt like stepping back in time. Jaw-dropping sights at every angle. Unfortunately, the crowds got a little bit overwhelming for us, so we decided to head back into the city. So
let's wrap this video up in arguably the heart of Beijing.
To Wanqijing Street, which is one of the super popular pedestrian streets here in Beijing. Our accommodation is literally around the corner, so I think we've been here every single day, and it is just filled with shops. And the pedestrian walkway is huge. Like, I don't know why I expected less in a city that's this big, but even all of the shops are just massive. And there's this really cool billboard, like a LED billboard that's on a corner, and it has these 3D animations that we saw last night, which were so much fun. I think we might try and sneak out tonight and see some more. This has truly become one of our favorite places to travel in such a short amount of time, and we highly recommend that if you are slightly interested, you should come here because it's awesome. But to end the day, we are gonna go get some delicious food. Beijing pie. Just two. Thank you, Trisha. I feel like they recognize us now.
All right, clearly we've been here before.
Yeah, I think they recognize us. It's nice. What did you want this time?
Kung Pao.
Kung Pao. We came here the first day we got into Beijing because it's literally around the corner from where we're staying, and it was on my Apple Maps, and we've been back. This is our 3rd time now because it's delicious. It's like proper Chinese food and it's reasonably priced. You can't go wrong.
The Beijing pie, which is what this place is named after, is effectively like a quesadilla.
Yeah, kind of like a Chinese quesadilla.
But it's got pork or beef in the middle, and it is really, really good and really filling and quite affordable. But since we had it the first time, we've been branching out, and now we're getting like, we got Beijing chicken last time. I think this time I'm gonna get Kung Pao chicken for the first time.
But we are going to get some bread on the side because it's cooked fresh in-house, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the plain bread tastes so good. First Kung Pao chicken.
I really like that. It's like a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy. It also tastes like it's got, like the chicken has some sort of coating on it. There's like a crunch to it. Yum. I think you're really, really going to like that. It almost seems like marmalade-y. Like whatever the sauce is really thick. You like it?
It's very good.
Better than last night?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good afternoon once again from Beijing, China. Today we are fleeing the capital and heading 1,000 kilometers south. We're going to have to walk and talk because we're pretty late, but there are loads of different ways to travel in China. The most exciting we've found is to travel 350 kilometers an hour overland.
And if all goes to plan, in 5.5 hours we will be arriving at another train station in China's ancient capital, Xi'an.
Also, Emily's personal Instagram got hacked this morning and we spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. So now we're late for everything.
Lucky it's assigned seating.
Ah, thank you. We normally book all our trains with One2Go Asia, but it doesn't really cut it in China, so instead we book with Trip.com, which one major positive is that you don't need to go and exchange your online booking for a physical ticket. It's all just done through your passport. So we just handed our passport to the guy and he let us through, which is saving us a little bit of time, thankfully.
This morning sucks.
We're right at the front. What's the time?
I don't know.
We made it.
Just, oh my goodness.
And we have just started moving. Is that right on time? 1 minute early.
And we were fortunate enough to get a window seat. Can't wait to watch the countryside go by. Honestly, so fitting for today.
Yeah. So we are in second class. This is the cheapest available option. It's a 3-2 configuration with pretty skinny seats. You do get a good recline and a good amount of legroom. It's $110 per person. The next option up would have been first class, which would have been a 2-2 configuration, wider seats, more attention by the stewards because there's less people per carriage. They're plushier, more legroom, everything's just a little bit better. It is $170 per person to get that though, so way out of our price range. And that's not the final level. In China, for some reason, it goes second class, first class, and business class as the best. They're like their own cocoon pods. They're full lie-flat recline. It's a 1-1 config, or it's a 2-1 configuration, so you can be completely by yourself. Toilets are less used, there's less people per carriage, more steward per person capacity, but a lot more expensive. They would have been 320 Australian dollars per person. And even what we're on now in second class, I'm pretty sure we could have flown for cheaper. I just didn't want to miss 350 kilometers an hour.
From memory, the flights were pretty close in price. This was maybe just more expensive or very comparable. And this is like an experience, you know? Flying is...
Yeah, we do flying all the time.
We do flying all the time.
Rarely do trains.
Especially bullet trains.
It's so quiet.
It's very quiet. As is tradition at this point, I need to do a toilet tour because I always get quite anxious about what the toilet situation is going to be on board trains like this, especially when you're on here for 5.5 hours. I hope you can hear me because it's a little bit noisy, but it's super simple in here. It is a Western style toilet. It's quite wet already, which isn't the best. There is a sink with running water, toilet paper, toilet seat covers, and plenty of mirrors. I would rate this out of 5, maybe a 2.5, a C. If it was clean, probably a B. Not bad.
Included in the bathroom tour, where you wash your hands. Looks like each cabin will have their own version of that. And I'm sure as the classes go up, the quality goes up. So clean the windows.
High-speed train goes past you because you're both going so fast. It's like you blink your eyes and you miss it, but you can feel it almost like the pressure.
This is 350 k's an hour, but it is not the fastest train. It's not even the fastest train in China. They actually have a maglev train that goes from Shanghai that goes 430 kilometers an hour. And that maglev is literally like when you get two magnets of the same pole.
Is it magnet levitation?
Yeah, magnetic levitation. So it doesn't even touch the tracks. It's like two of the same pole charge magnets when you try and force them together and they like slide over each other. It's like that. And it just, no friction, flies along. And that's not even the fastest train though, because Japan upped them again. There's a maglev train in Japan that goes 600 k's an hour.
Oh my gosh, where does that go to and from, do you know?
It's not a commercial one, so it's like specifically private.
Yeah, wow.
Cargo and everyone should get them.
Are they safe?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, why not? We've come to a stop where a bunch of people are hopping off, and I think some more people are going to hop on. We have the row to ourselves, so start the clock for the world's quickest seat tour. It's a train seat. It reclines quite nicely. Like, this is so upright. Pretty nice. Plus we have no one behind us, so I don't feel bad reclining the whole way. We have a little tray table, a pocket, some coat hangers. End of seat tour. Actually, there's quite decent space for your feet as well. It's quite plushy. It's quite firm actually, but quite like good size. Like I feel like I can spread out decently. There's plenty of space for bags, and that is it. There's no Wi-Fi. Can you see that? That was so fast. There's no Wi-Fi that I can see. End of train tour, seat tour. Sometimes when you do super quick tours, you miss something. There's a little blind to block out some of the harsh sun. We want the views though. And unfortunately, half of our window isn't a window.
I would say 3/4 is not a window.
Yeah. Pretty, like we're okay, but this is the second time this has happened to us.
Train in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I thought I heard something. I was like, oh my God, he's done it. Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It's so I can be exactly on time. 1. Oh, we're going.
列车为公共场所，请保持车厢安静。有人交谈或者观看手机等其他电子设备时，请降低音量。乘车期间，请您注意安全，防止烫伤、车伤等意外伤害。带儿童的旅客，请您看护好您的孩子，不要在车厢内奔跑或大声喧哗。感谢您配合。
We think the QR codes on the back of the seats are for ordering things.
But it looks like soy sauce or vinegar.
Yeah.
So when you're booking a train in China, they are informed by letters as to how fast they are. The G, D and C trains are all high-speed trains, whereas the Z, T and K are slower or overnight trains. This route, we could have done it as an overnight train. It would have been cheaper, but it also would have taken like 14 plus hours. The G train that we're on is the most popular and the fastest. I think they can get up to 380 kilometers per hour, and they are used so frequently. They transfer 1 million people a day. Crazy. So close.
So we didn't really vlog too much, but to be honest, it was a train.
Not much happened.
Yeah.
Jump in your grave.
Okay.
They're not even the last people hopping off. Everyone's clamoring to get in. I'm going to try and push my way. Sorry, just get our bags off. Thank you. Nice. Sometimes you're going to be a little bit rude.
Yeah. Oh, there's just another train coming in right now. Final thoughts on the train?
It was fine.
It's a train.
I think it's like way more functional than a journey. Like, I don't know, I guess I thought bullet train, to me, that seems like such an exceptional thing.
An adventure.
But here it's just so mundane.
Yeah, we like, even with trains, we normally love them because we
Yeah.
can see the countryside and things like that. But honestly, it was going too fast. And each city kind of looked the same as you whizzed past.
Yeah.
Plus then eventually the pollution or the smog or whatever it is got a bit too thick and we couldn't really see out the window anyway.
Yeah. I think if I had my time again, I would say just fly.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get there way quicker. Like, it is pitch black here now.
I would, it's probably one of the rare cases where I'd probably pay a little bit more to fly.
Yeah, just to get here quicker. Like, it's such a distance to need to cover.
Yeah, it's a huge distance.
Yeah. But I'm glad we've done it.
At the end of the day, I'm not upset we did it. I don't regret it, but I probably wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, I agree. But I am very much looking forward to this hotel that we're about to check into, because if it looks anything like the photos, we're in for a treat.
I just want Wi-Fi, please.
We didn't show you around the last hotel because frankly, it was nothing to show. To give you an idea of where we were staying, it was quite expensive, and the door to the bathroom didn't have a door handle. It just had a hole where a door handle used to be. This place is how much?
40 a night? 40
I think it's 37 a night.
Crazy.
And it's a projector on the whole friggin' wall. But comparatively, you said that was what, like half the price?
Less than half.
Less than half the price of the last place. And the whole reason I booked it is I saw the photos of this projector.
Good afternoon from Xi'an, China. I almost said Xi'an, Beijing, but we're not in Beijing anymore. This has been a bucket list destination for me since I was a kid. The idea that one emperor had multiple thousand terracotta warriors made to kind of surround him when he died is just like mind-blowing. And we're here to see that. But not today. This ancient capital of China has so much more to offer than what we originally thought that we're going to spend today running around and trying to do as much as we can. That means visiting a market for some interesting food, seeing an ancient bell tower, and one of the biggest and most well-preserved city walls in Chinese history. This is not a road, we're on top of a wall right now. We have made it to the top of the wall. It's busy, despite the rain.
Is that how big it is?
How big what is?
The wall? Is it all the outside wall or is it?
I do feel like this weather kind of adds to it rather than take away from it. It's very mystical, which I think fits with the vibe quite well. Emily's not feeling too good today.
Poor baby.
She doesn't like temperature changes.
I historically will get sick when it changes from summer to winter, or even from August.
Yeah.
From autumn to winter. So going from the heat in even like Hong Kong to now this, I have just instantly gotten sick.
Yeah, it's fun for us.
你好，美女。
你好。
你好。
帅哥，你们两个好。
Oh, English?
啥？我听不懂。
I don't know. Translate.
我在直播啊，直播咱们句西文化。你好，再见，拜拜。
你好。
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
拜拜拜。好的好的。
I don't know what he was asking because I don't speak Chinese, question mark? This wall is friggin' huge. If you thought the Great Wall was big, this seems massive in comparison. I think I read that it is 12 meters high and it can get to 14 meters wide, which is just bonkers. I can't remember how wide the Great Wall got, but the section we were on definitely was maybe half this size. Like there's so much space up here that there is vendors and full-on shops as well.
There is also, up here, like we've seen in most areas of China that we've been, people fully dressed up taking the professional photo shoots. And that's why I think a day like today would be so good for it. The weather honestly makes it look so mystical.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like mysterious, I don't know.
I also appreciate that every single one of the vendors is dressed up as well. I literally can't.
I don't know if I'm the only one that does this when we come to historical sites like this, but I always try and transport myself back in time and see like exactly how it would be to be like an invading soldier or a defending soldier.
It is.
You would have no chance.
Such an intimidating wall. Like just walking up to after we bought the tickets to walk through, it is just huge.
It's monstrous. It's so thick, and then like the soldiers that are defending the wall also have all these watchtowers that they can like have a full life in and go kick back with a hot cocoa and then come out and shoot you.
Like all of the holes for all of the arches and all the watchtowers. It's bonkers.
Absolutely monstrous. Makes sense because this whole city was the end of the Silk Road. Back when that was like global trade.
Yeah, wow.
The Silk Road went all the way to Europe and started or finished here, depending on who you ask.
What? Are those bikes for up here?
You can also rent bikes up here, apparently. As well as it being like 20 meters thick, there was also a 20-meter moat around the whole thing that was like 5 meters deep. There's just no chance anyone's getting in here. So, apparently this wall was originally built 2,000 years ago, but it was really made the way it is now with the Ming Dynasty. The same guys that built the best part of the Great Wall of China. But you can see, if you look at a map down, you can see this like perfect rectangle that surrounds the inner city of Xi'an. Just would have been so well protected.
I do find it fascinating, like, I guess Rome has a similar thing, like having such ancient history right next to modern buildings is so fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's like Egypt too.
Yeah, nuts.
Crazy.
This is like the 4th or 5th one we've seen just on the wall alone, and I'm pretty sure they're filled with power banks. Like, it is so common here to use your phone so much that you need to hire a power bank. It makes sense up here because everyone will be taking photos, but even our hotel offers it.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Is that what we're eating later?
I think so.
Hope so.
They look good.
We can find them. I don't know if we already said this, but we're moving on to the next thing.
What is the next thing?
A bell tower.
Oh, I'm very excited for this. When we rode in last night, we saw it all lit up and it looks huge.
Looks gorgeous.
I don't know if it costs money again.
I think it does, but we'll have to debate whether to go up or not.
Yeah.
But we'll at least see it.
Yeah.
It's about a 20-minute walk from here. Look at how thick this gate is. Starts now. More doors. Still going. Look at that, even with gunpowder, getting through that. Crazy. All right, I can actually see our next stop. It's way down there. Autumn, absolute best time to travel anywhere in the world. Look at these leaves.
Even with this misty weather, it's still really nice.
Totally. Absolutely gorgeous. 10-minute walk later, we've made it to the ancient bell tower.
Imagine this is just your roundabout you go past every day. This is crazy.
And it does look better lit up. I don't know if we're going to get a shot of that, but if we did get one, here it is. If not, sorry.
It was like all of the surrounding buildings were lighting it up as well, like the hotels and stuff. It was beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Apparently they used to ring this every day at dawn, and it was to tell everyone in the city that it was time to work.
Wow.
Yeah, because it sits right in the middle at like the crossroad of the two main roads that intersect the city. You can go up it. It does cost a little bit of money. I didn't think the wall was going to cost money, and I'm kind of over budget for today. So we might give it a miss.
Do you know how much it is?
I think it's like $8.
Oh, per person.
Yeah.
Lame.
So instead,
food. Everywhere we have gone, we have seen what I think are colloquially, how do you say that word?
Colloquially,
you say it, but
colloquially
known as Chinese hamburgers. Like, they are so ubiquitous or popular here that they are knitted toys made out of them. So I really want to try one.
Yes, and we will. And we know just the place. Okay. All right. Let's go for it. Okay. Well, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just them? Me as well? Just you. You're the popular one. That's good.
Thank you. You're very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You are too. I don't know. This is making me feel nice about myself.
That same thing happened. Where were we?
Beijing.
Beijing. 2 different places in Beijing.
I can't remember. The main one was the Summer Palace. We were stuck there for like an hour. Everyone was so nice.
Everyone is really nice.
So sweet.
Yeah.
We have been other places across the world where people want photos with you and they aren't so nice about it. I'm more than happy to stand around for an hour taking photos with people here.
An hour is a bit long.
Hour is pushing it. I won't lie. Ooh. We made it to the drum tower. Oh wow, there's 2 drums. It lives up to its name straight away.
This is also not the final destination, but it's pretty. Apparently, while the bell tower was rung in the morning to get people to get up and go to work, the drum tower was rung at dusk to be like, you're good, go to bed.
This one would be the favourite then.
We have come to the main tourist street in the Muslim quarter of this whole place. It's hectic. There are so many different stalls and people yelling and cooking things and a lot going on. A little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
But we're on the hunt for two things. The first one is
Chinese burger.
second one is
Pooled noodles. Is that what they're called?
boing boing boing.
Boing biang.
Let's try and find them. I think we found the burger.
I think we found a popular burger too.
Yeah.
There's like a little tiny stall and a man's out the front with
Yeah.
the POS machine, and you pay and you get a bag for each one that you order. We only got one to share because we haven't tried it before.
The guy that yelled the loudest was the correct guy, so I think that's funny.
I feel like they just pushed in.
Everybody take our photos. Okay. Front of the burger place.
Wow. So we found the Chinese hamburger and joined a line, and lucky we joined when we did because it got massive behind us. They were frying up these bread things and then ladling in all of this, it looks like slow cooked meat. I don't know what it is. And then at the end he asked if I wanted this sauce stuff, but I said only a little because it kind of looks spicy. So I'm going to turn it around and that can be Jordan's side. So juicy. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Not too spicy at all. The outside is super crisp, and then it is, I don't know whether it's pork or beef, but it's super slow cooked and juicy. You're gonna really like this. There's not much like flavor, like it's not overwhelmingly herby or anything like that. Just really simple and delicious.
It definitely looks like chili seeds and chili flakes, so can't believe you said it's not that hot.
Yeah.
That is so good. Apparently, it's one of the oldest street foods. I feel like I got it in my teeth. It's one of the oldest street foods in all of China because of how simple it is. It's just that slow cooked beef in 2 pieces of flatbread, and I really like it. You're right though, it's like it's not bland, but like there's less flavor than you'd think.
You're the one that said we should only get one, so thank you, sucker.
It's definitely not a hamburger in the traditional sense that we know it, but technically it's an even more traditional hamburger.
I can see how comforting this would be, and like it's so nice and warming right now. You have orange all around your lips.
And it was $3.50 Australian for one, so it's not going to break the bank either. Could have gotten two, we might be back, but we need to find one more food that's meant to be iconic for Xi'an.
The only way we know that places have it is because the name of these noodles, biang biang, it's like the most confusing Chinese symbol or letter I've ever seen. It's like there's 5 different letters within one letter.
I think it is one of the most complex characters in the language. It's got 56 different strokes for one, and they named it the same thing twice.
That must take forever to write.
Yeah.
I think this is the one Adriana and Dylan came to, so I think we have to go in here.
Oh, what?
In here? You want to go here, like so we can see them? Thank you. Oh, you order over there? Do you want to share or do you want me? Ni hao. The biang biang noodles? See? One please, yeah. Do you want to go sit on that table? Share.
Wow.
Like a veggie one.
Well, there you go. Must have been what we unintentionally asked for.
Yeah. So thick and wide. Looks like a plain noodle.
That's really good. There's not much flavour on it, but just the texture and the flavour of the broth underneath. Really good. So we've come to this place, unintentionally the same as the place that our friends came to, but we've come to get byong byong noodles, which apparently is named after the way that they're made. So they hand roll out dough into long, thin strips, and then they bang it, and it whips the table back and forth to lengthen it even more. It's like thick and chewy, version of noodles. I really like them. We had a little bit of miscommunication. I don't really know what type of noodles we've got, but there seems to be beef at the bottom and veggies on top, and I saw her like adding a lot of different spices and things like that to it. So it's some kind of flavour of the noodles we want.
That smells like cinnamon.
That might be the sticks.
They're like perfectly al dente. Oh, there's a little bit of spice kicking in.
Ooh.
But the noodles are delicious. Xi'an is famous for 2 types of noodles. This is one, and the other is liang or something like that, and that's a cold type. So maybe we'll try that tomorrow.
We've just been told how to eat it. We didn't mix it enough.
I will say I'm so happy for people to be laughing at how I use chopsticks.
Yeah.
Because I know it's wrong. I just can't correct it.
Just gonna steal a little bit of beef with my expert chopstick skills.
Chopstick skulls.
That kind of brings us to the end of today, but definitely not the end of Xi'an. We've actually got the thing that we're most anticipating and that I am honestly so excited for. I haven't been excited for something this much in a long time.
Since the Great Wall?
Probably since the Great Wall. So,
That's not
but before that, in a long, long time. Because tomorrow, we are visiting the Terracotta Warriors. Welcome to our last full day in China.
I can't believe it's almost over, but I can't think of a better way to end our entire China travel than what we're doing today.
Completely agree. You can excuse the washing in the background. We're actually staying in a place that is really, really good and only about $25 US a night. And it has a washing machine, which is few and far between in our travels. So we've washed everything and spread it all around.
We had to take advantage. I think it's the last time we're going to get to wash clothes before we go home.
But the Terracotta Warriors are about an hour drive from here, so
We gotta go. Nice.
ooh, it's a smoggy, foggy day.
We definitely made the right decision going out and exploring yesterday. It's fast. I feel like that's the fastest we've ever had one come through. According to Apple Maps, the public transport would have taken 2 hours and cost 31 Chinese yuan per person. So the DD being at 75 actually isn't that much more expensive. Plus, we don't have to walk 16 minutes to the train station in this not so great weather. I think that's pretty worth it. Yeah. There is cheaper options, but I'm ignoring those. Like this would have cost 10, so much cheaper, but it would have taken 2 hours and 13 minutes, and you would have transferred 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Buses and subways.
Walks.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like the, because it's quite far away from town, it's kind of like the Airport Express. Like they always increase that fee, so the more direct one's 31, not 10, you know. Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Just a note on air quality. I was on my Apple Maps and you can see there it's saying the air quality is an 89 AQI index, and that means nothing to me. So I googled what Australia's is, and the current AQI in Australia is about 17, and that's considered good. So that's not even a high level. I think the lower the number, the better.
Okay, so the tickets you get for this place, they stagger the entry times. It's an 8:30, I think, a 9:30 and a 10:30, and then they go kind of then on every hour. But I don't think that's going to affect how busy it is, because we're at the 10:30 today and it is super busy back there, looks busy ahead of us.
From every video or clip I've seen, it is constantly rammed here. Like we are not going to have personal space at all.
Yeah. Yay! Lots of guides here, so if you come without a guide, you can pick one up on your way in. Like if you don't have an organised group tour. I don't know how much they cost, I'm sure they're all quite different, but there's loads to choose from.
There would be a lot of history to learn. We have done a ton of research.
We've done, it's something that I'm super interested in for some reason.
Get ready for information overload.
I won't overwhelm you.
To Mr. DeHaas's history class.
I won't overwhelm you, don't worry. It is interesting though.
It's very fascinating.
Oh baby. Looks wet.
And that's just a taste of the facts you're going to get with Jordan today.
The rain is wet. So once you're in the complex, I believe you can take a
Battery car, it looked like it said.
cart thing up to where the actual pits are for the soldiers, but you can also walk up these lines to get to the mausoleum. The Terracotta Warriors, if you don't know, are terracotta warriors. Life-size warriors made out of terracotta that surround the mausoleum or the necropolis of the first emperor of China.
A little taste of what's to come.
Life-size terracotta warrior. The man this is all about, Qin Shi Huang, names is where I kind of falter. He was the first guy to unify China. So he fought off 6 or 7 different regions, put them all together, made like a unified currency, unified way of measuring things, and a unified writing system, put together the whole country and made China. Qin Dynasty, China. Crazy, right? He had a lot of interesting beliefs, and I think he's like the epitome of that saying, you often meet your destiny on the road you take to avoid it.
Out of all of the attractions we've done so far, this feels the least organized. Like normally there's a very clear one direction.
True.
Like single file, not single file, but like
one direction.
It's only one direction and one route through. This feels like, what's that Goosebumps book where you pick your own journey?
Choose your own.
Yeah, choose your own adventure. So I have no idea where we're going right now.
Wow, there's so many people.
We fought our way to the front. We didn't actually, we patiently waited our way to the front. I found this pillar and I thought that looks like a nice place where it's not going to be too intense. And I was right. There was a really cute old couple here listening to an audiobook. We just patiently waited behind them. And now we're at the front, and this is bonkers. We have come to pit 1 of 3.
First fact is most people think these soldiers were found like standing up and ready to go, but they're actually just like a big mess, and they are painstakingly pieced back together and then stood up. Apparently it can take up to 3 years per soldier.
Not just a mess, like purposefully destroyed and completely covered. Yeah, like at the back you can still see the destroyed ones.
If you don't like crowds, this is not the place to be.
Have another fact?
They were all coloured. They were like lifestyle coloured, every single one of them. And they find now when they're doing archaeology to be really careful if they find something that's got grooves in it, because there might be some natural colour preserved like within the groove. So if they find them, it's like a jackpot.
They might be able to tell what colour it was painted or with what sort of dye.
Well, they know kind of what each of them were, and every single one of them is individual.
And you hear that, but actually being here and seeing it, like, they're not just slightly different, they are different people. Like their facial expression, their facial features, what they're wearing, their body type. Like some of them have a little pot belly, some of them are quite
Theorize that it's after real, genuine people that were in the Qin army, and you can see like smiles and frowns, and people that are like teacher's pet standing upright and rigid, and other like cool dudes were at the back of the class that were like a little bit more slack.
Or some
like all of it.
Have their hands like they clearly were holding a certain type of weapon, and others are in different positions because they might have had a different weapon or no weapon at all. I did read online that the weapons were real. So the weapons they were buried with were actually real weapons. They weren't clay like they are.
If you come to this side section of the pit, there are small areas of gaps. You can't see the front on of the soldiers, but I think it's worth coming here anyway, just to get a little bit of breathing room, because up there it is hectic.
I can't believe that this is only one pit.
This is the biggest pit.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. But let's keep moving. Like, out of everything we saw and everything we're going to see, there's been 2,000 uncovered soldiers out of a suspected 8,000. And they find new ones every single year. And the main tomb of the emperor hasn't even been opened yet.
I did read, and I don't know if this is one of your facts that I'm going to ruin.
Might be.
Apparently within his chamber, it's believed that there are 2 rivers remade of the main rivers in China, like the Yellow River and the...
Yangtze.
Is that the other one?
Mm-hmm.
But they had them remade in mercury, which you'll find out more about later, I'm assuming, with Jordan's facts.
You will.
Where are we going now?
This is another one of the pits. I don't know which number, but it's not pit 1. Okay, so pit 3 is smaller. There's a bunch of stuff in it again, and there's even a section where they've got the terracotta warriors standing up that you can go and take a photo with, but you can't bring cameras in there. They have to take a photo of you and you pay for it.
I'm assuming they're replicas. I would be surprised if they're letting people...
Well, yeah,
because they seem so fragile, like the real ones.
Yeah, they are. Who knows? But wanted to explain a little bit about Qin, the emperor that's buried here. He created these soldiers and these armies and a bunch of other stuff around him to help him in the afterlife, despite thinking he was never going to die. He was obsessed with immortality. He went to this island called Zifu in the northeast of China 3 times over his lifetime, which is a long distance when you have a horse and carriage.
Yeah, wow.
Trying to find the mountain of immortality, which is like the Asian version of the Fountain of Youth, but he was determined to live forever. He thought he was going to live forever, but he also started making his necropolis and his tomb as soon as he became emperor.
Yeah, it seems like he lived in both worlds. Like he wanted to live forever, but he understood that he probably wouldn't. And in that event, he wanted to have his entire army and city essentially to rule over in the afterlife. So like he was placing bets on both red and black.
But he didn't cement who was going to succeed him on the throne, and that's partly why his whole empire fell pretty quickly after he died. I think like 16 years or something. But the reason he died was trying to live forever, which I think is
the epitome of that saying.
Yeah, the epitome of that saying, because he literally used to microdose himself with mercury, like metal, mercury.
Because when you think immortality, you think metal poisoning.
Yeah, so he died by drinking mercury.
Yeah, wow.
Trying to live forever. And then there was this massive conspiracy, and it was incredibly Game of Thrones.
It was crazy. So when he passed away, can I quickly tell this story?
No, we'll explain it later.
Okay. I assume pit number 2. I don't think we've seen this one before. Seems like the medium pit.
Yeah, this is like, I guess, where they're excavating at the moment.
There's like some stuff on the ground. I could have been alone in thinking this, but when you hear Terracotta Army, I assumed that everyone was a warrior of some description, but actually he was more building like an entire city to rule over in the afterlife. So there's performers, there's water birds, there's musicians, all sorts of things. What's this guy? A performer. Do you reckon he had like a drum?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It feels like that's where someone walloped it and like deliberately destroyed it, right?
Yeah.
Like
that looks like it. It's crazy that all of that came from a farmer finding some pottery when they were trying to dig a well. And now it's this.
You know what I read?
What?
Those farmers that found it all died like really unfortunate deaths. One took his own life and 2 of them died penniless and without medical care. So they didn't even get paid for this. Isn't that crazy?
Yikes.
I feel like if you found something, you should be
rewarded.
Yeah, right? Okay, ready for the drama. Xi'an goes on tour for some reason that I don't care about. He takes with him his concubines and his youngest son. Very important. Youngest son, not entitled to the throne. Like there's so many people before him.
And his imperial advisors.
And whatever. That is actually important.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so he's going, they're on tour, he's taking his little mercury to live forever. And what happens when you take too much mercury?
Or any?
You die. So he passes away, but before anyone can find out, a conspiracy plot thickens. I don't know how to say that. A conspiracy is afoot. The advisors convince the youngest son that there is a way to take advantage of this and for him to succeed his father. So they hide the body. They don't tell anyone that he passes. They're lugging it around on tour, this dead body of the emperor of the largest, most crucial dynasty in China's history. And they're just like lugging him around in a thing. He starts to smell, so they just put a bunch of fish over it to hide the smell. So then they forge a letter that says like, to his eldest son, his successor, you disappoint me, I don't like you, blah, blah, blah. They send that off. He ends up taking his own life because in that era, if you were like...
The letter says that you can redeem yourself to me if you take your own life. And he does that. Yeah.
Jeez, that was harsh.
They didn't think it would work. The conspirators were like, there's not a high chance of this, but we'll give it a go.
So they forged that letter, send it off, it works. They forge a second letter saying that Qin Shi Huang succeeds his lineage to this youngest son. I don't know how to word any of this, but he passes on his power in the event of his death to his youngest son.
Whose name is Hua Hin.
Prince Hua Hin. And then that also gets sent off, and then they tell people that he's died.
Yeah. And then when he is the emperor, he ends up killing all his other brothers and sisters because they were also older than him and arguably next in line for the throne.
I have another fact too.
Okay.
They also, the advisors, end up making all of the concubines that were on tour with him, so therefore probably knew what happened. They made them enter the tomb alive and buried them. They had to die with him because they knew, because they were there.
They also buried with the emperor apparently the people that worked on the tomb and made the traps for the tomb. So there is supposedly literal crossbows with arrows pointed at the different entrances that you can get into the tomb. So people are still incredibly scared to open it because of the crossbows and the booby traps, the curse,
Mercury River.
and then also the Mercury River. So it's legitimately dangerous.
Like, it could be completely empty. It could have gotten raided, and we just
It
don't
could
know.
be completely empty, or it could have like just crazy amounts of wealth, or it could have the secret of immortality and he's just sitting in there like waiting for us to get in because he's immortal.
Wow.
That's a low probability.
So, this is the world's largest personal burial ground. I think it stretches over 55 square kilometres.
It's the size of Manhattan, right?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Just for one guy,
And
effectively.
like only 20% uncovered, roughly.
It's just crazy. I feel like there was something else
I do
I
feel
wanted
like
to
it
say.
could be just directly under our feet. Like it's that big that we know of. It could be like, what an end to one of the most bucket list countries I've ever experienced to travel, and we finally got to do it.
It's been an absolute whirlwind and a total dream come true all at the same time.
It's been amazing, and we've only seen 2 cities. We will be back.
I think so.
100%. We're going to go find that mountain of youth.
Immortality.
Zafu or whatever that island's called.
We really want to do the floating Avatar mountains too, but it was a bit hard to get to. And just like so much else.
There's so much to do.
So much to see in the world.
All right, next stop.
South Korea.